They say your life flashes before your eyes when you die, but nobody tells you that it also happens when you lose everything you thought defined you. I'm 44 years old. Yesterday, I had a corner office. I had a title that made people nod with respect. I had a salary that kept the wolves away. Today, I have a cardboard box. It's sitting on the passenger seat of my car right now. It contains 22 years of my life, a plastic nameplate, a mug my daughter gave me 6 years ago, and a stapler. That's it. That's the sum total of my legacy. The security guard didn't even look me in the eye. He just pointed toward the exit. And as those glass doors shut behind me, I realized something. The world didn't stop. The traffic was still moving. People were still laughing on the sidewalk. I was the only one whose world had just ended. I sat in my driveway for 3 hours. The engine was off, but I couldn't get out of the car. I was staring at my front door, and for the first time in my life, I was terrified. How do I go in there? How do I tell my wife that the security I've been using as an excuse for my absence for 20 years is gone? I thought I was a provider. I thought those 80-hour weeks were a sacrifice for them. But sitting in that silence, I finally saw the truth. I wasn't sacrificing for them. I was hiding. I was hiding from the messy, difficult parts of being a father and a husband. It was easier to bury myself in spreadsheets than to face the people who actually needed me. I traded my presence for a paycheck. And now, the paycheck is gone. And I realize I've forgotten how to just be home. I remember 2018. I was Executive of the Year. I still have the plaque somewhere, probably at the bottom of that box. That was the year I missed my son's championship game because I was on a flight to Tokyo for a merger that doesn't even exist anymore. I remember my wife calling me, crying, saying our daughter was asking when Daddy would be home for dinner. And I said the same thing I always said, just a few more months, honey. Once this project is over, things will slow down. But things never slow down. The machine doesn't have a slow setting, it only has more. More output, more hours, more of your soul. I ignored the chest pains. I ignored the gray skin and the way my hands shook when I reached for my 4th coffee at 4 p.m. I thought burnout was for the weak. I didn't realize it was a slow suicide. My biggest mistake, it wasn't being loyal to a company. No, it was being disloyal to myself. I built my entire life on a foundation of sand. I thought that as long as I had the title, as long as people called me sir, then I was someone. But when you strip all that away, the LinkedIn profile, the suits, the business cards, what is left? I looked at my hands today. In the dim light of the car, they felt strange. Like a stranger's hands. I've spent 20 years, 20 long years, building a castle for a king who doesn't even know my name. They replaced me in 48 hours. 48 hours. They didn't even change the lock on the door. They just deleted me. I finally went inside. My house, it felt different. Quiet. My wife was in the kitchen. She didn't ask about the box. She didn't ask why I was home early. She just looked at me. And for the first time in a decade, I think she really saw me. Not the provider, not the man who pays the mortgage, but the broken man behind the expensive suit. She didn't care about the salary. She didn't care about the title I just lost. She only cared that her husband was finally home, even if he was empty-handed. I realized then that I had been chasing a ghost, a shadow. We spend our lives waiting for someday. Someday I'll travel. Someday I'll play guitar again. Someday I'll actually talk to my children. But someday is a lie. It's the lie we tell ourselves so we can endure the misery of today. I don't have a plan yet. For the first time in my life, I don't have a calendar full of meetings. I don't have a list of KPIs to hit. It's terrifying. But this morning, I woke up and I watched the sunrise. I mean, I really watched it. I saw the colors change from deep purple to a burning orange. I heard the birds. I've been alive for 44 years, and I think that's the first time I've actually seen the sun come up without looking at it through an office window. If you're listening to this and you're still in that race, just stop for a second. Look at your hands. Look at the people who actually love you. The machine, it will replace you in a week. Your family? Never. I spent my life building a castle, only to find out I was the only one living in it. And it's very, very cold in here. Don't wait for a cardboard box to tell you that you're free.